Hello and welcome to Keeping Up with the Kerslake, episode 2. I'm here today with Geoff Vincent of GVR Solutions. Geoff has been part of the construction sport crowd really from the start, and pretty much a big part of my life actually. Geoff and me grew up together in school, so construction sport has brought us back in line with each other and doing what we do. So Geoff, welcome to Keeping Up with the Kerslake.
Pleasure to be here.
Who would have thought it, eh?
No, you've come a long way.
How are you? All good?
Yeah, all good. All good. Busy. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Most of it's positive.
Yeah, good.
Obviously, there's a big issue with labour at the moment and getting the appropriate people in for the appropriate jobs. So yeah, but I mean, to be honest, that's always been the challenge. Is just now more people looking for more people, basically. Yeah. But look, we're in a good position. You know, we are growing as a business, and I think everyone you speak to in the industry is busy, which is nice to hear, given we've all had 2 years of uncertainty with not knowing, and I think we're lucky to be in an industry really that was the backbone of the country during all the lockdowns and stuff like that. It was pretty resilient to it all.
That's one of the big ones I said to a few people actually. We get so much negative press in the construction sector, and we were pretty much the only people giving people jobs for 2 years, weren't we?
Absolutely. I mean, we had a few people on furlough for a month, and then we had to bring everyone back because we were just too busy. Yeah. It gets a lot of stick, but it puts a lot of roofs over a lot of people's heads, doesn't it? And it's also the extension of, beyond the actual construction. Yeah. Like the site itself, there's the supply chains, there's all these other industries that are linked to it. Yeah. Which, if you look at it in 2008 compared to the last couple of years, it's a completely different situation, really. So, just grateful, really, and trying to maximise what we can get out of it now, really. Yeah.
Do you find you're finding more clients easier now than candidates as such?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of businesses that are looking for staff. Obviously, we only do white collar, so ultimately, it's there's a candidate shortage. There's hundreds of thousands of people retiring every year. There aren't hundreds of thousands of people coming into it every year. So mathematically speaking, it doesn't work. There's a real need for just good, qualified, honest people. So it's sort of 80-90% orientated around finding good candidates at the moment.
What do you find in any particular nationality these guys are as well? You find everyone, so I suppose the white collar and the blue collars, obviously we get a lot of people across the whole the world really, but do you find in the white collar it's a real mixed bunch of nationalities that make up the construction sector?
It really does vary. I mean, it kind of goes in trends, it seems to, for some reason. So at one point, obviously there were loads of Australians in London. Yeah, they've all gone home because the money's really good in Australia and it's more sunny. Yeah. I think there's a fairly mixed bag. We've got a number of English people working for us as such on like a contract basis, but then I think there are a lot of second generation Eastern European immigrants over here now that are this is their home, and this is London, isn't it? It's all shapes and sizes.
100%.
I think for us again, it's the thing that we look for above and beyond everything else is just that core value of being a good person, really, and there is a lack of honesty. Well, there certainly was. I don't know if it's quite as bad now, but there has always been a sort of a trend where people maybe overdo it in terms of their capabilities and stuff like that. So for us, like it doesn't really matter where you're from or anything like that. It's just to make sure that you're capable, really, because you're dealing with construction. If it goes wrong, bad things can happen,
Yeah, for sure. We'll notice that as well, telling people, literally, it's all good having the ethic and the know-how and going into a job to being keen. Yeah, but when there is literally lives at risk if you don't do the job properly in there.
Yeah, but that also that touches on the mental health side as well, though, doesn't it? If you're not well, you going into these high pressured sites where you know, there are tons and tons of heavy machinery and all sorts of things that can go wrong. You know, if you're not in the right headspace, you drop the ball, and like you say, it's not, you know, you're talking serious consequences.
Yeah, because you say for the mental health as well, because you go into that pressured environment, and these people, the only place they take out this negative pressure is at home then as well. And that's the thing, that you go home, and so everyone suffers in the end, doesn't it? So you don't just take it on for yourself, you take that stress on burden on your home life as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, everything is linked if you look closely enough. And I think, you know, if you've got people that are on site and there are issues and they don't know who to talk to or even how to talk about it, because blokes don't talk wrongly. Like you say, that then is you know, that's just a ticking time bomb, really, isn't it? And then, like you say, it's the home life which then affects it even more, and then it gets worse, and then you just you know, it's you know, you've got to get out of that rut, really, haven't you?
Yeah, vicious circle.
But knowing how to do it is the first thing that people aren't aware of, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you guys obviously come on construction sport, and you've been there from the start, hasn't it, really, in terms of showing. But I suppose, what was it kind of what you guys wanted in construction sport? Obviously knew we were the original kind of Shearer and Sutton, weren't we, really? I think we were the centre forward partnership back in the day.
Yeah, I think more Henry and Burkham sort of thing.
Or a bit more Jimmy Hasselbank shape at the moment.
Yeah,
but,
I'm Heskey then.
Yeah, but that was it. We started obviously playing football together, didn't we? But what was sport played in your life, really? You tell the audience. Well, I don't know, a big part of it, but
well, it's been a major part of my life from, you know, we were 4 or 5, you know, playing football mainly every week. But to be honest, like when you're a bit younger, you play anything, don't you? Know, you just buzz off playing sport. It's where you go to be free, really. Do you know what I mean? And I think, to be honest, like I didn't really realise. When you're younger, you kind of don't really appreciate things as much. So, you know, you're playing football all the time and you're fit, you're healthy. You don't realise how well you actually feel until you don't feel well. And then you think, Christ, that was all right. So for me, like, the sport has been a major part of it. You know, I went through a period of not doing so much, and then I'm right back into it now. And you know, you feel young again, like
doesn't it?
And I whereas before, like, it just used to be a bit of a hobby and just a part of, you know, you just played sport, didn't you? That was just what you did as a young boy and a man. I'm thinking about it more as like a a health purpose, and, you know, to keep fit and to
stop the aches and pains, keep them away.
You know, it's stress relief for me as well. You know, I think that running around chasing a football and kicking a few people is, you know, there's some benefits to that, really.
How's the hand?
Yeah, it's not too bad. So I'm not going in goal anymore. But,
Jeff broke his hand a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago now, wasn't it?
So I was doing really, really well as well. I was the fittest I've been for years, and went in goal for 30 seconds out of pity at the end because I hadn't got in goal, and it was all over within about 30 seconds. So, but I'm all right now, and like I say, for me that. There was a potential problem there for me, you know, myself, because I've sort of gone from exercising 4 or 5 times a week, eating really well, just really motivated, energy levels all time high, to then just going bang, you can't do anything. You're in a cast. You can't even have a shower.
It's taken away from you.
Yeah. So it's, you know, immediately my first thing was like, right, I need to not give myself a mental mountain to climb here and just get through it. And that's really where now I'm like back fit again. I actually value sport even more now, because I know that, you know, what that brings to me is that, you know, is things that nothing else can give you. You know, going to work and all that is what you do for a living. But the mental health side for me is I get a lot of comfort out of going for runs and even the walk the other day.
It was a big one.
Like absolutely loved it. I was aching everywhere. My bones were aching. I didn't even know that was possible coming the end of it.
So we walked 26.2 miles from Twickenham over to the Excel Centre, didn't we, to open up UK Construction Week. What was done all right in the end, didn't it? Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was...
longest you've ever walked?
It actually isn't.
Oh, is it not?
No. Got you there, haven't I?
The top end of it.
No, but I did 40 miles, but I was younger. And I swear I didn't ache as much. But yeah, it was. Do you know what? It was midnight. You were walking along the Thames. You were just, and I had all these intentions of listening to loads of podcasts and stuff like that. I didn't turn any of them on.
I saw your message out and I didn't say nothing. When you said, can anyone reckon any podcasts? I see you won't be listening to them.
Yeah, I just, you know, I had 10 hours of conversations with people, and it was brilliant. And I think where you've got so long, you just talk about anything. Yeah. And it was really fulfilling. Like I've come out of it absolutely exhausted, but feeling brilliant. Yeah. It was quite surreal.
Met a few new faces as well. Yeah. Industry-based people. Absolutely.
Yeah. And everyone's there for a reason. And I think that's the thing with construction sport. Like it's a group of people that have got motivation to make change.
Yeah.
And there's common ground there. So immediately there's no barriers, there's no masks. It's just genuine honesty.
Yeah, that's why I've always said it, because I actually, I've said it before, I might be the founder of a mental health based charity, but I actually don't actually push to have conversations about mental health. I'm like, just let's have a kick about it, or go and have this walk, because people know, if the people are supporting it, like you said, there's common ground there with people who support each other. You don't need to go into detail about
No.
Stuff. So
I think that for me, like you always used to hear about awareness of things and stuff like that, and I used to never really quite understand what they were getting at with the awareness, and now I genuinely do. And it is, like you say, it isn't about ramming it down people's throats.
Yeah.
It is to make them aware that this is here.
Yeah.
And like you say, the mental health side, I don't think I spoke about it once on the walk, but you didn't need to.
No,
because it was there.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of ever present now anyway.
Yeah.
Which just shows it's working.
It's the answer.
Yeah. No. Well, it is. Yeah. It is, and I think it's gone unspoken for far too long now.
How do you find it with your team as well? Because kudos to you guys massively. I've said this from day one, but you were the first person multiple times just said, Steve, what event's coming up next? Or this event, you put the whole team down. Every time you've done it. So you'd always get, there are companies who literally, you'll get the main guys from the company will come to literally benefit and do a bit of networking that side. But like I say, massive kudos to you. But you literally said, I want the whole team to come to maximise the opportunity of enjoying themselves. So do you find it works in performance and actually the banter in the office, I suppose? And
well, for me, like I think that there's, you know, talking and doing are two different things, aren't they? And you know, it isn't GVR isn't a business that is, you know, it's not run by a boss. I would like to consider myself more of a leader, and I think getting everyone down to those days is, like you say, it's good crack. Yeah. But there is a purpose to it as well. Do you know what I mean? And you know, look, everyone has their struggles, don't they, and everything like that. And it's am I sitting in the office all day saying, you know, talk to me? No, I'm not, because this is here now. So everyone enjoys it, and I think that's again why it works so well, is that, you know, we go to these golf days and we do various sporting things, and the standard isn't always particularly brilliant. Especially golf from me.
Not from anyone.
It's not pretentious or anything like that. It's just a nice environment. It's, you know, it's just an ideal and you know, I'm very proud to be a part of that, and I know the team are as well, and you know, it's about putting your money where your mouth is, in terms of, you know, if you're saying you want to help people, you know, what are you actually doing about it?
Yeah.
So and look, they're always asking when the next stuff is. Yeah. So it's, like I say, it's you're onto a good thing for sure.
Good. No, I think we're all linked together, that's for sure. But BitterX, you're also now a board member. BitterX. How is BitterX?
Yeah, it's really good. It's you know, you start to notice the common denominator in a few things that we're doing, which is, you know, it's just about having the right people that want to do well, and BitterX is an extension of that, really.
So people don't know, BitterX is British and Irish Trade Association, isn't it?
Alliance.
So British and Irish Trade Alliance, sorry. Whole group of people are literally slogan is people helping people in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been brilliant. Actually, I've been part of it. Obviously, just a little bit less than you have, I suppose.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But
it's been superb.
Yeah,
I mean,
superb.
We've got some very, very good clients out of it, but I've also made some mates, and it's the guard down kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not a question of necessarily being vulnerable, but it isn't. You know, people are you know, trusting you before, you know, it doesn't need to be earned, if you know what I mean. They just trust you off the bat because you're there, and if you're there, you must be all right, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So no, it's all, you know, it's all very exciting. It's a work in progress. Obviously, the bit of X side is for the young professionals, and again, it's progressing nicely. And I think
that way they go about it. Obviously, Will Polston said to me at the start of it, he said, Steve, go in there with the mentality to don't find out how I can get business from you. How can I help you? Find someone for that person, and guess what? It goes round in circles.
Exactly. Yeah. I see it as, you have to be selfless, not selfish.
Yeah,
and I
100%.
think that's the problem with typical networking stuff. It's business card. What can I get out of this? What can I get out of this?
Yeah.
And it's actually the complete opposite, which is it was a breath. I could not believe it when I walked in. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone's so nice.
What's the catch?
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking I shouldn't be here. But yeah, no. So it's brilliant. I can't fault it.
Good stuff. And family life, so you got the missus at home, you got a kid on the way as well, haven't you? Number 2 on the way.
Yeah, number 2, little one is nearly 3, number 2 is due in 4 weeks, so that's fun at the moment. I'm just really excited. It's becoming a father is, you don't really realise the magic of it until you actually are a parent, and I think certainly for me it gives a level of purpose that I just didn't even know was possible.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is a massive factor in you know, what motivates me and why I do anything really.
Yeah.
But that also coincides with the, you know, with the fitness and with the you know, staying mentally healthy and stuff like that. Like, you're not just doing it for you anymore. You're doing it for your family, and you know, you sort of grow up carefree, not having any responsibility really, and then all of a sudden you've got someone that is totally reliant on you. And
as soon as my little boy was born, I literally went to my mum straight away and said sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? And it's the same, isn't it? I even told my mum I was coming here, and she was like, "That's brilliant." So I feel it's strange actually, because I feel like my relationship with my mum has actually got stronger since I was a parent.
Definitely.
Because you appreciate, and it's not like you didn't appreciate them, but now you really understand, like, this person went through hell for me, because I'm going through it myself now.
I literally just think to myself, I was like, how can I get I haven't got the money there, but how can I put him in a boarding school where he never gets any influence from the outside world at all? How can I mask him from every bit of trouble? But,
no, and look, it's very scary for me, because, and for everyone, because it's, again, my biggest fear is mental health issues as a result of social media and all this kind of thing, and how do you shield people from you know, those that are not particularly nice online and stuff like that, and that scares the life out of me. So I'm very, very conscious of communicating and talking and being open and approachable, because I think that, you know, again, it's a hard life as it is. Like, you don't need to be thinking about things on your own. Like, there's support everywhere. And like I say, that's kind of been bred out of also the construction sports side of things. That's changed my mindset towards it all, really.
Yeah.
So there's benefits to that which are not related to construction or sport.
Yeah, because that's the thing with it as well. I think a lot of my side of it as well, because I literally see so many, the industry's full of broken men as such, and ladies now, but that every guy I was working with, and it was kind of like, someone said to me once, when you don't want to do your boss's job, change your career path. Like, to that extent. So if you don't want to but you want to climb, but you don't want to do that job, you've got to find a new way. And that's kind of because I realised every time I went somewhere in the industry, I was like, he's a broker man as well, and he's a broker man, and he's now obsessed with work, but he's lost this and he's lost that, and I've noticed these patterns. I was like, the industry's just riddled with it. So I was like, I don't want to be in that way. But then that's why I kind of got to a point of how can I try and help it really, because I don't want to be in that path of giving up weekends and nights the rest of my life. And
well, that's it. It's a hard job, isn't it? It's physically difficult, and it's also really tough mentally. Like, it's not easy. You're dealing with high risk sort of situations. Whilst being a bit knackered, it's going to be a tricky environment to navigate.
Yeah, you said about being knackered. We said this the other day, actually. You said, what kind of person goes and does, say, a full day's work on site, grafting for 10, 12 hours, goes home, puts his boots on and goes rugby training or football training?
It's crazy.
Like construction workers do it week in, week out. I don't think they actually take the credit of how much energy they're probably using up every day. And then they wonder why Friday afternoon they just want to go in the pub and, unfortunately, they laugh a bit negatively. But doing that in the week, literally, who does that? That's the thing.
It's bonkers. I laid a few paving slabs for my mate the other day, and I was like, I'm going to stick this on the iWatch. I'm going to do it. I burnt about 800 calories. I'm thinking, that was an hour. Yeah. So like you say, it's strenuous and it's difficult, and like I say, and as you've said, you sort of look up for inspiration, and actually that apparent inspiration is someone that is dreadfully unhappy. Yeah. And that's got to change, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's got to change.
There's not enough time to be miserable, is there?
No, there isn't. And like you say, then it's then extended onto other parts of your life and stuff like that. So, and I think you've certainly again over the last few years, I think there's been a big wake up call for the world, really saying, well, actually, do I need to be unhappy at work?
Definitely.
It's a long time. Do you know what I mean?
I got it multiple times after COVID, this side of COVID. Oh, you've done really well to set this charity up. Have you done that off the back of COVID then? I went, no, this is actually ideas 5-6 years ago. It's just only now that this has happened that you're all waking up and spending the coffee as such, I suppose. But,
no, absolutely. And it was born out of a, everything starts as an idea, doesn't it? But then it's now in full flow, isn't it? Which is really good to see, because it had legs at the very beginning. You could see that, but
finding literally finding your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And fair play to you.
Yeah, no, but couldn't do that. What's next for GVR then? What's coming up?
World domination.
Well done.
So we're growing as a company. We've got quite a rigid set of core values, which we're not reinventing the wheel or anything like that. We're just it's based around being a good person and being honest and transparent. So we are growing the team with people like that, basically. It might take a bit longer to do that, but I don't just want a bums on seats business, really. Yeah. So
takes time for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's worth doing, it's worth doing properly, and we are doing well. And hopefully that will continue. There's been no massive catastrophes just yet, so. We'll just continue to progress. Obviously, with the market being as it is, it's just like I say, it's about being out there and visible and bits additionally to the job itself. What can we be doing to give back to the industry? We speak to colleges and universities and stuff like that, because it isn't just all about earning as much money as you can. I genuinely care about this industry.
Yeah.
It's a
two-way street, then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big part of my life. It's a big part of a lot of people that I know's lives as well. And you need to look after it. Do you know what I mean? So and that isn't just about financial gain. It's about preserving the future as well. Rather than just trying to take all the cream off the top straight away. Yeah.
No, brilliant stuff. Lovely, Geoff. Well. Good man.
Pleasure
to speak to you. Thanks for coming in.
No, thank you.
Episode 2 done of Keeping Up with the Kerslake. Thank you, Geoff Vincent and GVR. On to the next one. Thank you.